Before I get started, I'm going to give all honor and all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash. Double honors the apostles, great millstone, who rule well. And shalom to you, bishops and elders and brothers who are in these camps, making everybody live sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. My name is Yarah Abad. At Israel's 11 hour camp, coming to you another sit down lesson with a part 2 of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Yesterday I had cut the video off short because I was in between destinations, on the go, in transit. So I'm back here to complete the lesson today. And Lord's willing, do another lesson also. I shall complete this one and then move on to another lesson, Lord's will. So I'm going to start off at verse 11. This is part 2, Wisdom of Solomon, uh, chapter 5. This is part 2, and I'm going to start off at verse number 11. Slakia. Or as when a Slakia. Or as when a bird have flown through the air, there is no token of her way being found, but the light of air being beaten with the stroke of the wings, and parted with the violent noise of motion of them it passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went to be found. Basically, it's talking about Esau Edom. Soon you're not going to be found. You're going to be as an arrow. What do you call it? That went through, right? And the child's mark, but what do you call it? As if you were never were. What do you call it? As if your time to this space. What do you call it? Right now, which is time and space, which is here in Babylon, which is America, is numbered. And soon, what do you call it? You will be as like a dream. You are here for a moment, but then you'll be gone. Gone the next. And unfortunately, your downfall is going to be quicker. Actually, not unfortunately. Lord willing, your downfall is quicker than you being brought up, right? Took some time to bring Lord took some time to bring your red ass out of them Mount Seir and to build you up, But within 1 hour, what do you call it? Lord's will destroy you and take your ass out. Even so, we in like manner as we were born begin to draw to our end and had no sign of virtue to shew, but were consumed in our own wickedness. That's right. Because our people followed your stupid ass, you know what I mean, in your dumbass ways, because scriptures say never follow the ways of the heathen. Don't go away, like the Lord says, don't warn us, do not follow the ways of the heathen, because they're ways of death. You know what I mean? Completely void of life. Wisdom Solomon 5:14. For the hope of the godly is like dust that blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like a smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passed away as remembrance of a guest that tarried but a day. Right. So the wicked, what do you call it, are gonna basically be blown away. What do you call it? Like the dust in a sandstorm. Their fruits of their labor, what do you call it, will not produce. What do you call it, will only go so far. You know what I mean? Their seeds of labor will only be spread so far. For their pollination can only do so much, because everything has a season, right? And their season's almost over. In fact, it is over. It's declining as we speak. Their whole social order is unraveling as we speak, right? And right for the whole world to see it too. Not only to vindicate the children of Israel, who has been out here for the last 4 or 5 decades, with the apostles on down, who are the true believers of Yahweh Shem Shai and followers. What do you call it? They're being vindicated, but also the Esau Edom, what do you call it, is being searched out. His wickedness is being called to the forefront. And everybody's seen it, right? Through the internet, through the unicorn. So Wisdom of Solomon 5:15. But the righteous live evermore. Their reward is with the Lord, and their care of them is with the Most High. That's right, because we are always in His. He is always in our thoughts, right? And we're gonna live evermore with the Yahweh Shema Shai. Will be our everlasting salvation, be everlasting kingdom with the Yahweh Shema Shai. The kingdom or the house of David will be established, and we will live under King David, under Yahweh Shai, under the 12, so forth and so on. The pyramid just keeps going upward to a point where the Lord Yahweh sits on the throne, and His Son is right hand. There'll be order to be rank and order in the kingdom of heaven. Just like how GMS established rank order here on earth within the church. Let's move on. Verse 16. Wisdom Solomon 5:16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. Oh, that's a day us saints are waiting for. Is that day right there? Is Lord willing, we others hopeful elect to get beamed up on the chairs to receive that crown from the Lord, from Yahweh Shai. So that's really what, why we do what we do, why we make videos, why we go on the highways and byways, is to for one, be a good soldier, right? And it also says be of good cheer, right? Don't be a little bitch. The Lord doesn't like fucking, it's men bitching, about small matters, small stupid shit. Not being rebellious, but also being a good son, being a good faithful son. He says all, especially all through the Apocrypha, he addresses, especially in Ezra's, he dresses, always telling him to be a good son, be faithful, be upright, be righteous, show some integrity. In fact, grow a pair, be a man. Like you, basically be a man. Stop being carnal and shit. Be stoic. Therefore, let me read it again. Therefore shall it receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown for the Lord's hands, for with His right hand shall He cover them, and with His arm shall He protect them. Yeah, so that's the hopeful elect. That's the governing body of the 144,000 that did not bend the knee to the image of Baal, didn't take the fucking MOTB, stood their ground, stood with integrity, like Yahweh Shai, like Yahweh Shai did on the day of the cross. He was scared, but hey, you want to know what? He did it. So how much? I mean, shall we not return the favor? What am I doing? Verse 17, Wisdom of Solomon 5:17. He shall take his jealousy for complete armor and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. That's right. That's going to be us. Lord willing, that's us. You know what I'm saying? We want to become the weapons of Yahweh, right? Because we're fishermen. We're ready to become hunters, so we can exact judgment on the enemies of Yahweh Shema Shai and the enemies of the nation of Israel, which is you heathen nations. Despite what you other Israelite camps think and say that all nations can make it, that's some bullshit. Because who are we gonna judge? Who are we gonna hunt at the very end? When we get beamed down from the chariots in our new spiritual bodies. If we're all the same, every nation can make it, every nation can be saved. That really doesn't make no sense. Who's gonna be the slaves and who's gonna be the kings? You can't have all kings and no slaves, and nothing will get done. Anyway, I digress. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of a helmet. That's right. That day we're not going to be talking. We're going to be judging. Lord willing, we execute judgment on these fucking heathens. Wisdom of Solomon 5:19. He shall take holiness for an invisible shield. That's right. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. That's right. And in fact, I can see where angels come into play. You know what I'm saying? Helping, getting busy. So this is basically we're going to exact judgment on you heathens. You know what I mean? You know, and it doesn't matter what the fuck you say. It doesn't matter how you try to coerce it, how you try to reword it. You know what I mean? Don't be about revenge. You know, don't be about division. No, we're all about division. We're all about revenge. Best believe that shit. This is Solomon 5:21. Then shall the aiming then Slakia, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad from the clouds, and from a well drawn bow shall they fly to the mark. That's right, because the Lord has so many spiritual powers going on that um exacting judgment on you heathen is going to be a wide array of methods, that the Lord's going to cast upon you people. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy. World War Three's the high World War Three is gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It'll be JT, the MOTB will be administered worldwide. People will be fighting each other. You know what I mean? It'll just be complete all hell on planet Earth. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them. And a flood shall cruelly drown them. Yea, the mighty wind shall stand up against them, like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. That's right, because the mighty wind is Yahweh Shai. The mighty wind is the angels. The mighty wind, what he calls the power of Yahweh Shai, raining judgment on the earth. Right? And like it says, iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth. Yeah, so it all be dealt with in one fell swoop. So let me wrap this up. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the point. I try to finish off the lesson, right? I'm gonna come to another lesson today. Lord willing, think one up, put it down. Until next time, just want to say Yahweh, all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors the apostle, great millstone, who will well, and shalom to you, bishops, and elders, and brothers who are in these camps. Make your body of sacrifice for Yahweh Shem Shai. My name is Yerah Abad at Israel's 11-hour camp. Come, sit down lesson, right? Just kind of wrap up the lesson from yesterday with a little quick one. Those willing to edifying to the point. Until next time, I say Shalom and America, Wa Ababa Ball.